You know, how often do legal records really capture the full story?
Yeah, the whole complex picture of a person. It's often missing, isn't it?
Exactly. So today's deep dive, we're kind of unpacking that exact tension. We're looking at these really powerful remarks from attorney Yu Jung-hwa.
Of the Western Freedom Bar Association,
Yeah.
a well-known human rights group.
Right. She spoke back on August 28th, 2025, about a case. Well, she said it shook the community.
Yeah, involving young Koreans arrested earlier in 2025.
And our mission really is to look at the personal story she shared, how their actions, these very human actions, got recorded legally.
And what that gap tells us about, justice and maybe even empathy.
Attorney Yu's point, it seems, is shifting focus from just the statutes.
Exactly. To the human element. She really stresses that behind every charge, there's a life.
She met them in detention, right?
She did. And she said, she didn't see defendants. She saw neighbors, people from the community.
And her hope is empathy.
Yeah, that sharing these stories fosters empathy. A reminder, she argues, that a whole generation's hopes shouldn't be seen as expendable.
Okay, so let's get specific. Take the first person she mentions, A.
Right, A young woman, a florist, an illustrator.
Wow, okay.
And she even volunteered with kids who had serious illnesses, including, actually, the attorney's own daughter.
No kidding. So someone deeply involved in caring for others, daughter of a cop, too, apparently grew up respecting the law.
That's the picture painted. Yet, on that day, things changed dramatically.
How so?
Well, she saw an open rear gate at the courthouse, people in distress.
Okay.
And the attorney describes it as like an instinctive act of compassion. She just went in.
How long was she even inside?
Arrested in less than 7 minutes.
7 minutes? That's barely any time at all. What did she do?
Handed water to someone who was injured, saw some blood upstairs, went up briefly, then apparently got frightened and retreated.
And for that, the legal label is? Trespasser. For handing out water in a moment of crisis. It really makes you think.
It does. Does that label capture her intent, her character?
Doesn't sound like it. Not the person you just described.
And that's Attorney Yu's core argument, that A's humanity, her warmth, it shouldn't be just erased by those few minutes.
Because if we let that happen,
we risk forgetting about justice itself and maybe that courage to care for each other. It's that clash, isn't it? Strict law versus the human context.
A very powerful point. Okay, what about B?
B, his story's different again. He apparently saw anguish, people crying in the dark.
So he wasn't part of any rage or anything?
No, the description is consoling, weeping women, grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
Then he saw police kicking citizens.
Oh, wow.
And his instinct, according to the attorney, was pure protection, protect the vulnerable.
So what did he do? What does the footage?
CCTV shows him entering, shouting, "Do not use violence." He physically stretched his arms out, trying to separate police and citizens.
Trying to de-escalate.
Exactly. Running himself hoarse, trying to broker peace. He was there maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes this time. Also very brief.
Very. Tried to help the injured, too. Then he left, feeling despair.
Right.
He couldn't shake the image of the mothers he saw. He actually turned his car around, drove back to the main gate, and that's when he was arrested.
Turned back. And the charges for him? For trying to stop violence.
Obstruction of official duties and trespass.
Obstruction. For trying to protect people. That disconnect you mentioned earlier seems really stark here.
It's incredibly stark. Attorney Yu frames B as someone who sought to protect, whose choice was brief, but, she says, courageous.
But these charges aren't minor, are they? Obstruction?
No, they carry significant weight. It shows a very strict interpretation, seemingly ignoring that immediate, sort of desperate context.
Okay, one more. C.
C. This was later, past 3 a.m. Another open rear gate, no guards visible.
And he heard cries for help.
Desperate cries, "Help us!"
He hesitated and then went inside, very quietly, near a flower bed, apparently.
And his actions. Saw a man stumble, helped him up, checked if he was okay. No shouting, no confrontation, no damage caused, just quiet assistance.
Just helping someone up.
That's it. An ordinary young guy. Steady job, cared for his widowed grandmother, planning to get married.
Sounds like a normal life.
Attorney Yu really stresses his nonviolent intent, pure instinct to help, even though he apparently blamed himself later.
And yet officially
Recorded as a criminal trespasser.
A criminal trespasser for helping someone to their feet. It's quite something.
Another example, of how a brief, maybe selfless act gets stripped of his humanity in the records.
So pulling this together, These quick, almost instinctual acts. A, offering water. B, trying to stop violence. C, helping someone up.
All seen through this narrow legal lens. Trespass, obstruction.
Dan, Attorney Yu estimates most of the indicted, over 100 people, were young people like these three.
That's her estimation. And her message is just so clear. These aren't violent criminals, they're neighbors. Right. Their 7 minutes, their 10 minutes, their brief moments of choice, she says, shouldn't define or erase their entire lives.
Society shouldn't treat its young generation's hopes as, expendable.
Exactly. The law needs to remember the living people, the real lives, the human dignity. Not just focus on, procedural clarity.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with a pretty significant question, doesn't it? What does it mean for our society when simply responding to suffering, trying to help, can be legally framed as a crime?
Yeah, and how does that really challenge our whole understanding of what justice is supposed to look like?